Charlie. I really appreciate being in both classes with you and getting to learn a lot from you. I've been reading all your posts on both classes. So thank you for all the insight that you've given me throughout these 8 weeks. I also appreciate that in this particular case, you stated it is not sufficient to just state a Bible verse, such as 1 Corinthians 10:13. While that is helpful to someone who believes in God and someone who is biblically, whose faith is biblically based, it's not the end all because, like you said, there's a lot of physiological symptoms that go along with temptation. And I really appreciate you taking that stance as well, that we have to cover, even in our remedies, we have to help cover the entire person, really, and really see the severity. I appreciate you breaking up the severity of the different temptations that we have. Some are much worse than others, and sometimes, a practical is not good enough. So even even with that said, even if a verse is not good enough, perhaps it's a spiritual practice that can assist the person in um, thwarting that temptation, even if the person is not spiritual, such as meditation or prayer or journaling or whatever it may be. And the truth is that different things work for different people. For instance, I can journal and that helps me, where my husband can't stand to write, so that wouldn't help him. So I think it's important that we keep the practices open and available to our clients, um, even if the temptations are really hard, uh, even if the temptations are really severe, I should say, we should give them the tools that they need, which I totally agree. Like a scripture on its own is not sufficient, but a scripture, a practice, as well as, tangible things such as like what you mentioned, not going home for the holidays. In some homes, the holidays people drink heavily and alcoholic would not benefit from being in that environment. So once again, I really do appreciate you bringing the physiological aspect of temptation to light. Even though this discussion was about spirituality, we can't negate that there's a physical and even psychological and mental physiological brain uh, things going on that lead this person to a temptation, to a space of temptation. One of the things that I considered as well, after, when reading your post, was really giving them a way to take captive their thoughts and change them in regards to situations, because like you said, the brain is definitely affected and altered by the use, and rewired by the use of drugs. But God has given us the ability to go and even rewire that wire, as difficult as it may be. You have a blessed day, and it's awesome having classes with you.